It's Planescape Torment. I'm still playing it. Last time, I'm really trying to remember what happened last time. Mostly, pretty much all I can remember is talking to this Abel Ponderthought for 10 years. And by talking to him, I mean he monologued at us about a million things. I mean, to be fair, I did ask him about them. It was interesting, but also a lot. Now I want to ask this barkeeper if he can help me to forget all of that. The smiling man nods cheerfully at you as you approach. Welcome to my cafe, good sir. What might I serve you? Some wine, perhaps? No wine, but I had some questions. The man gives you a helpless sort of look. Humblest apologies, sir, but I make it a policy to serve drinks and nothing more. You shall have to look elsewhere for conversation, I'm afraid. You certain you wouldn't like a drink, or some bread and cheese, perhaps? Oh. What kind of barkeeper doesn't talk to people? I don't understand. Oh well, I'll just rob him, I guess. Oh, there's a person in here. Oh, it's a harlot. Oh. Implying harlots are not people. Hey, I'm not trying to say that, alright? I'm just saying, like... Anyway, let's just move on. What the... Boot Shiner. Hello, Boot Shiner. The young man smiles as you enter his tent, gesturing you for you to sit. Clean and wax your boots, sir. One just shine for only 2 copper commons. No thanks. Farewell. And a farewell to you, sir. Please return should you need your boots shine. Do I even have shoes on? I hadn't checked that. I don't think so. I think I see toes down there. Can't tell. Whatever. Stay out of there, citizen. Dangerous. What's down here? This large, red-armored figure is standing in place, apparently guarding the stairs beside him. You dimly recall that his ornate armor marks him as an officer of the Harmonium, one who provides law enforcement for the city. Hello. The man casually motions back towards the street. Move along, sir. What are you doing here? He points toward the stairs beside him, which look to descend straight beneath the city. Go in the stairway, sir. Why? Where's it lead? To the realm below. Seeing your expression, he continues. Undersigil. May have heard it called. Any reason you're keeping people from entering the place? He chuckles softly, the plates of his armor rattling with the movement. I'm watching for anything that comes out, sir. Things that don't belong in Sigil proper. What sort of things are down there? Don't concern yourself with it. He regards you curiously for a moment. You're considering going down there, aren't you? Well, be most cautious. Rumors about the worst sorts of creature living down below. Okay, I had other questions. No use asking here, sir. Move along. I just need a few answers. He shakes his head. Speak to a citizen, then. I've got a job to do here, and I won't neglect it to speak with you or anyone else, sir. Now move along. But I need your help. He hefts his weapon. You need help? Has a crime been committed? Well, no, I just had some questions. Look, Burke, He pauses to peer suspiciously down the stairway, then returns his attention to you. I've certain tasks set to me, and I'm not gonna get them done while I talk with some addle-coved sod who's looking for so-and-so or wants directions to who knows where. Move along! And what if I feel like staying right here? He shrugs, his armor clanking with the movement. You're free to stand here, but not pester the law. I'd suggest you leave before there's any trouble. Oh well. Fine. Whatever. I don't have any particular reason to go down here, and it sounds like an annoying time. I'm just not gonna do it. I mean, I'm sure Bimble Buck Breakwind will be standing on the street corner just over here. It'll be like, oh, I dropped my family heirloom ring down the sewers. Oh, you gotta go under the thing to get it out of the clutches of the carrion crawlers. There's 10 million of them down there, and you'll have to fight every single one of them. Really looking forward to that. What's going on over here? Pike off quick if you know what's good for you. Okay, is he talking to me? Thug boss. I guess I could just... this is probably a mistake. This young but well-muscled thug, while clearly well-armed and large enough to be dangerous, seems awfully clean for a typical street tough. He's carrying a massive axe in one hand, and a steel box in the other. As you near him, he puffs up and scowls at you. What you looking at, sod? Pike off before I got to scrag you. Scrag? What in the 9 planes of Bato are you talking about, you idiot? Scrag's napped, nipped, yanked by the hair, hardheads, you clueless addle-cove bark. He glares daggers at Anna but says nothing. You do seem a little well-groomed for a thug. Stop shaking your bone box, leatherhead. This is my territory, and you'll be leaving it quick if you don't want my bloods to tear you apart. Anna snickers, shaking her head. Rattle your sod, rattling your bone box it is. I'd so like to see how long you'd last. Drop smack in the middle of the hive, acting as you are. Anna turns to you. Come on, let's be off. No use wasting our time with this wee-stemmed basher would be. His face flushes angrily as he gnashes his teeth in frustration. That's it! You piking us for it! Getting bloods! He raises his axe and leaps to attack. Okay, I guess we're fighting. Ow! And by fighting, I mean they're ganging up on me. What a bunch of cheaters. That's annoying. Hang on. What does this spell do again? +2 to AC, all attacks. Sure, use that on me because I'm currently having a trouble. It did not help. It didn't help. It didn't do anything. It was completely pointless. Ow. Oh, I'm back here.
I'm gone.
Man, shit. Oh well, I guess I can just fast travel. It's not a big deal. I wonder if those guys are still hostile down here. Probably, right? Didn't really get much of a choice there. I just talked to them and then Anna provoked them and that was it. Yeah, they're still here.
I will hear you.
I don't know. Let's just cast more spells. Make this one blind. Did that work? I can't tell. Okay, whatever. Everybody just get in there.
Give me a hand here. What's up? Good as
More, just try to not die. How's that for an idea? Wow, that guy's really, he's really focused on trying to get Mort. Oh, and he's wounded and he's running off. Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, I got him. Considering the presence that the Harmonium has in this area, I'm surprised they didn't intervene in any way. Hey, I just had an idea. Chasing those guys around is seriously annoying. What if I just... Oh, who the hell is this guy? What the hell is this thing? A shadow? Isn't this the thing that's hunting me?
Dagger's not working in this thing.
Oh, cool. Also, it's immune to non-magic attacks. Why are there so many enemies like this in this game if you... Ugh, whatever. Okay, we got it. Well, that was... Where did that even come from? I wasn't really paying attention. Anyway, hang on.
Hidden.
There we go. Where's that guy? Yeah, he can't see me now, idiot. Got him! Oh, he still has this box. Huh. The sturdy steel box has a thick leather handle on the top, but there's no apparent way to open the thing. It appears to be welded shut. There are a number of very narrow slits along one side, though you can't quite see into the box through them. A sickly sweet, rotting smell wafts out from the slits. Interesting. Okay, well that worked out. I don't know why I did all that, but, I don't know. Something to do, I guess. Performance artist. Is that a fucking mime? Yeah, it's a mime. We got mimes here in Sigil? Unbelievable. This man's face has been painted white, literally a mime. Oh no. A pair of arched eyebrows has been penciled onto his brow, and red powder has been used to make small circles on his cheeks and accentuate his lips. He says something, but you can't hear him. His hands are pressed up against what looks to be an invisible wall. What? I can't hear you. He hangs his head, sighs soundlessly, and shrugs. He then steps back a bit, waves farewell to you, and begins to pantomime various actions, pulling on a rope, walking downstairs, and so on. Let's just not deal with that. It's not worth it. Small dwelling. What? Another one? Finum the Linguist. Okay. The short, scholarly man, a tight, nervous frown on his face, looks you up and down. Greetings, I am Finum. I must beg your pardon, sir, but I care little for guests, invited or otherwise, so unless you've business with me, I'd ask you to leave. I did have some questions. I would have you know that I am a scholar and a linguist, sir. While I shall happily entertain any questions regarding my field of study, language and the like, I can be of no help to you in other matters. Okay. I guess if I need to translate a language, I'll be back. What's in here? Curiosity shop. Standish? Is that a name? This downtrodden little man scurries about the curiosity shop, dusting, cataloging, and moving things about for the place's proprietress. You notice he smells faintly of onions. He glances up at you nervously as you approach him. Please, sir, I cannot speak with you. I've work to do, and my mistress simply won't allow it. I just had a few questions. I'm sorry, sir, but I can't. Please, leave me be, before my mistress notices me talking to you. Your mistress? Little man nods. Yes, Mistress Vrishchka. I guess. I'm Standish, her servant, her slave. I committed a crime and was sentenced to slavery, then purchased in the lower ward like many of her slaves, most of whom she keeps at her manor. Now, please, I beg of you, leave me be, or she'll be angered and beat me unmercifully. Oh. Is that also part of the indentured servitude? Is regular beatings? Totally not slaves, by the way. Okay.
I'm gone.
What? This woman looks very blue. What's going on here? I don't really know. This sharp-featured woman's appearance is attractive, though somewhat disturbing. With her blue-black skin and bright yellow eyes, she examines you. A small pair of bat-like wings unfold from her back, then seem to settle back into her skin. I have no idea what she is. Well, well, a floating, disembodied, prevaricating skull. She narrows her eyes. You're the scarred man who's been going around asking all the questions. She looks you up and down. You sure look lost. Did you want to come in, really? Or are you just casing the place because you have nothing better to do? Because Rishchika, she indicates herself, can help you. How can you help me? I travel and trade extensively. I hear a great deal. I purchase a great deal. And I own a great deal. Perhaps I can make you a great deal. Is there anything that you desire? Only answers to some questions. I'll entertain any questions about the merchandise, but I'm not going to be drawn into one of your famous 20 questions about anything around the spire. Understood? What are you, Vrishchika? Vrishchika sighs loudly. An alu fiend, a half-demon. My mother was Tanari, a fiend, and my father a great king of mortals. Such a rude question. But then, you're rather rude-looking yourself, aren't you? Something else. What do you mean by calling Mort prevaricating? Prevaricating, misrepresenting, perjuring, dissimulating, lying. Oh, did I say that? I meant a floating, disembodied, pontificating skull, as in dogmatic, always stating an opinion in a self-important manner. Vrishchika smiles innocently. I had another question. Tell me about this place, at least. What you see within this shop is the result of much trading and traveling across the plains. She makes a sweeping gesture of the shop. Weapons, charms, and other specialty items are here for sale. Are for sale here. As well, everything that is rare and oh so exquisite fills this emporium. Your needs, I sate them. Anything else? Well, let's see what you've got. Would you care to examine the weapons and charms, or some of my more exotic acquisitions? Well, let's see the normal shit first. Hammer of comminution. Oh, man. It does acid damage. Okay, I'm not reading this. Tier Cellular Deo, we know what that is. Divine Censor. Invokes Raised Dead. Neato. Teeth of the Fire Drake. It's a punch weapon? Does a bunch of fire damage. Oh no, wait. It's not a punch weapon. It's teeth. It's teeth for Mort. Okay. Makes sense. Magnifying lens? What the hell? Lore skill, minus damage, minus... Okay. Lens of inherent viciousness. I wish I could... That's like, oh, this just gives you damage. Okay. Well, there's a bunch of weird shit in here. Scroll of Cloud Kill. Oh yeah, I can actually see... I got a couple of those items that cast it. I can see what it does exactly. Billowing Cloud, toxic vapors created so deadly you slay any creature with fewer than 4+1 hit dice. Cause creatures with 4+1 to 5+1 hit dice to roll saving throws versus poison at -4 penalties or be slain, and creatures up to 6 hit dice to roll unmodified saving throws versus poison or be slain. Those above 6 hit dice suffer 1 to 10 points of damage. So it instantly kills you if you're too weak, and then other than that, it just does like a bit of damage. It's like not a big deal actually. Ashes of the Pabulum. Summons Trellons. It summons what? These ashes are all that remains of a school of illusionists called the Pabulum. According to their expedition logs, they traveled to the plane of Shale in search of the lost works of the Fosterer, a powerful sorcerer who once ruled an empire where the plane of Shale now lies. The naive illusionists were successful, and they stumbled across one of his lost works, a hive of vicious creatures called the Trellans. The remains of the mages were found days later by 2 Barrior scouts and were burned over a pyre as a symbol of their folly. To unlock the power of these ashes, one only needs to stir them with the index finger of the left hand, then sprinkle a pinch of ashes into the air in a circular pattern. The smell of the remains of these dead mages is said to cause a Trellan to appear to serve the user. No one knows where the Trellans originated from, but they seem to combine the worst characteristics of demons and insects. They seem to bear an insane hatred for mages, but the reason for this is unknown. Well, that's understandable at least. Heart of the Fosterer summons the Somien. Usable only by evil and neutral characters. Strange object said to be the Heart of the Fosterer, according to legend. The Fosterer was a sorcerer who built his empire upon the plain of Shale many centuries ago. He was rumored to have 3,333 hearts, and each of them carried in it a different evil he had committed in his lifetime. One of the evils he committed was the discovery of how to summon the Somien and bind them to his will. It is said that the Fosterer was carried away by these beasts after he invoked them against some ancient foe, leaving only his hearts behind. According to Planar scholars, the Somien are fiendish horses, said to have been born from the blood of the last of the Nightmare Lords. They're not so much flesh and blood as an abstract given substance. They come to anyone who seeks revenge and binds themselves to them. Oh my god, there's so much text on this item, what the hell? They were born from a great treachery at the Gloom Meet, the time when the fiends gather to speak to the others of their kind. The nightmares ride the skies to gather the fiends to this meeting, acting as messengers, while the fiends saw the nightmares are... I think there's a typo here, whatever. I'm not sure what it's trying to get at, whatever. While the fiends saw that nightmares are helpful, maybe as helpful, convenient allies, they had grown tired of bartering with the last of the Nightmare Lords for his consent to use them. So the fiends called a Gloom Meet only for the purpose of killing. They lured the Nightmare Lord there to kill him, and when he arrived, the fiends set upon him. He beseeched the other nightmares for aid, but they only watched, their eyes aflame as their lord was attacked. The fiends tried to put him in the dead book. They scattered the earth with caltrops covered with the foulest poisons in the hells, hurled barbed cold iron spears a league wide into him, and when he tried to take to the air to escape, they turned the sky alight with magic, blinding his eyes white. They struck at him with everything in their hateful arsenal, but no matter what they struck him with, he was too proud to die. They hounded him to the edge of the Outlands, firing their cruel arrows and spears into him until he staggered into the hinterland's mists and died there, or so it is said. It said that as the Nightmare Lord stumbled into the mists of the hinterlands, his dark blood left a steaming trail across the landscape. Wherever his blood fell, the Outland itself cried out, wailing like a banshee, uttering the cries the Nightmare Lord would not. Less than a year later, the Somien rode from the hinterlands, seeking out any nightmares and fiends where they could find them. Their cries were the same as had risen from the blood wounds on the Outlands, and their minds were focused solely on revenge. It is said that gripping the heart of the Somien and wishing harm upon another will cause him to appear. The Somien will answer the user's call and fade in the mist from where they came. Holy shit. That was a novel. Anyway, I don't want to buy any of this stuff, so... I won't. I can get this identified, though. I mean, it's expensive, more expensive than... Whatever, it's just convenient. I want to see what this is. Minor Copper Blessing, +1 to luck, temporary. Oh. In order to create these charms, the Fated factions seek out failed business owners and other individuals who once possessed great wealth, then had a reversal of fortune and were left destitute. These individuals are then given enchanted carving blades and asked to clip a copper for the Fated in a tedious day-long ritual, which infuses the copper coin with the last traces of their former luck. The ritual and the nature of the individual clipping the copper allows a minor enchantment to seep into the coin and affect the fortune of whoever uses it. The clipped copper charm is flipped into the air, it will spill into a rain of copper pieces and bestow some luck upon the user. Okay then. Fucking hell. Buy something. What's this about exotic items? Vrishchika smile. Vrishchika. That's a smiles as you look at the various shelves in the middle of the shop. If you see nothing you like here, there are more items toward the front and back of the stores as well. Fiend's tongue, Gorgon salve, metallic cube figurine, monster jug, and there's more. There's just a bunch of shit. What the hell is this metallic cube figurine? You examine a small metal replica of a cube-like creature with huge eyes on one of its faces. The toy has 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 folding wings, and at least 18 points of articulation. Ristrika smiles as you pick it up. A collector's item, perhaps, or a piece of artwork. Who knows? But I like it. If you do buy it, ask around. Someone might know more about it than I. You can have it for only 1,500 copper coins. Okay, let's check the front of the store. Baby oil? I hope that's not oil made of a baby. Chocolate Quasit. Don't know what that is. Codex of the Inconceivable. Sounds complicated. David's Tears. Elixir of Horrific Separation. Ugh. And the back... Why is there so much stuff in here? Stained Lens. Yevra's Ring. Rune-covered Ale Stein. Tattered Ragdoll. What the all of these are like unique things? You can just buy this shit? What the what am I supposed to do? Sit around here and just look at all of these things? It'll be the rest of the fucking episode. Shit. I don't want to get distracted with this right now. I'm just gonna leave.
Done.
Maybe I'll be back and check the rest of that stuff out later. I don't know.
Goldward, also known as Wanker City.
Wanker City, huh? Hey, look, this isn't... We were looking for this woman, right? This tall, slender woman occasionally looks up from her cup of wine to scan the surrounding patrons and passersby. Her facial features are elegantly exotic, and her eyes a brilliant golden color. Catch the light sparkling as she looks about. Hello. She regards you carefully for a moment before replying. She speaks slowly and carefully, avoiding direct eye contact with you. I, Aelwyn, return your greetings. Aelwyn, your friend Nemel's looking for you. She begins to smile, but then covers her mouth with her hand and looks down at her drink. I, Aelwyn, am most pleased to hear of Nemel. Might I, Aelwyn, persuade you to tell her of this place? Fine then, I guess.
My journal.
She looks at you directly, and for just the briefest of moments, before she casts her eyes back down to her drink, your senses are awash with a warm, comfortable feeling, pure happiness. I, Aelwyn, thank you. Sure. I actually wanted to ask you about her, though. The way she speaks and what her words do. How... I, Aelwyn, can only say that we come from another place, another world. We are not like the people here whose words, thoughts, very feelings even, affect nothing directly. I, Aelwyn, take great care so as not to affect those around me too greatly. Nemel, she is new here, and cannot do so. It is something she must learn, should she choose to remain here much longer. I guess maybe they're not elves, well, whatever. But why? There are many reasons. I, Aelwyn, feel it is not right to impose reality upon those without the ability to impose their own reality upon me, Aelwyn. Is there anything you cannot do by simply speaking of it? She frowns. A strange, unpleasant feeling rises in the pit of your stomach. Please, Aelwyn, would speak of it no more. Alright, fine, whatever. Aspiring sunset artist. This attractive, pale-faced girl smiles at you, motioning toward a book full of charcoal sketches. Greetings and well met, good sir. My name's Ulana. I'm an artist by trade, and would gladly make a fine sketch of you for but 5 copper commons. I can make a serious sketch if you like, or a caricature. No. I guess. I don't even have an option. She smiles, but somewhat sadly. Farewell then, please. Do not hesitate to return should you change your mind. Okay, don't know what that was for.
Done.
Colored gloss of this window is cut to resemble large gems. What's in here?
Globes, let me have at him.
Some sort of shop, I suppose. These shelves are littered with containers holding various powders, liquids, shavings, and the like. Most are unlabeled. Okay, same thing all the way around. You see a wall-eyed fellow whose skin seems to writhe and ripple across his entire body. He's smacking his chapped lips with a blotched tongue as you watch his right eye moves independently of the left, focusing on you. A second later, the left one flicks to look your way, then reverts to its original position. The right eye blinks. A strange gurgling comes from his throat. Hello? The man gives a lopsided grin and points at himself with his right thumb. Vessel, I'm called. The alchemist. He points at himself again, this time with his left index finger. The name's Clinton. Need you something? Are you alright? I am. His throat convulses for a moment, then relaxes. A large, green, glowing pustule suddenly bursts from the side of his neck. "Something you need then, sir?" His throat clenches again, and a wave of quivering flesh swallows the blistering green pustule back beneath the skin of his throat. He coughs violently for a moment, then seems to relax. "Ugh. What happened to you?" The left eye rolls upward in exasperation. The right eye looks askance. "Too much to drink." "Too much of what, though?" "Potions, I drank. Too many potions." His mouth slides down beneath his chin. His left nostril forms another one. "The most I ever drank, that's for certain. A polymorphin. They were imbrued. In limbo." "Anything I could do to help?" The man's eyes turn inwards to look at each other, then back to you. "Dunno." He shudders. The mouth below his chin moves up to envelop the one his nostril formed. "This sort of thing happens quite often. Can't seem to help but sample the stock. If you find a way to help the two of us, would be grateful, sir." "Okay, then." Half of his mouth curls downwards into a frown. He shakes his head. "Oh, I had another question. Work in the stockroom all day I do." He shudders violently. Suddenly, a third eye pops open over the bridge of his nose. The left one shifts sideways as the new eye takes its place. "I speak only of the store, sir. That said, the skin of his face seems to eat the new eye, and the left one returns to its old location. Okay, then. Can I buy something? He's just got some random shit. I don't really need any of this. Okay. Well, that was interesting. This old woman examines you closely with her sharp gray eyes. First your face, then your arms, and various tattoos. "Greetings, scarred one. Come to speak with Illibrand, have you? Come to have your fortune told, mayhap, for a paltry 5 coins? I did have some questions. I not speak of things mundane, scarred one. Alright, tell my fucking fortune then, whatever." Illibrand places your coins in her belt pouch and takes your hands. She quietly studies your palms, frowning deeply. At long last she speaks. "Some rare folk are what's called fateless, you see. They wander through their lives doing as they see fit, creating their own destinies. You have no fortune to tell, scarred one. None at all. I've nothing to tell you. And so here's your coin." She returns your 5 coppers. "I see. I had some questions. You're not gonna tell me anything." "Okay, well, fucking bye." "Hold you one moment, scarred one." Illibrand reaches out, touching your arm. "My mother gave me something once, long ago. A scroll sealed with wax. A hooded man had entrusted it to her, and said that a man such as you would one day unwittingly come to claim it. Here, I would have you take it now." "What is it?" Illibrand shakes her head, frowning. "I did not know. She was sworn never to read the thing, and I obeyed her request to leave the seal unbroken, myself. The man had paid her handsomely to take the scroll, but warned her of the direst consequences should she open it." "Okay, then." I just force-dropped my decanter on the ground. Good. Make Mort carry some shit. He's probably just gonna die and drop it all again. What the hell is this thing? The scroll has been tightly bound with red ribbon and sealed with wax. You can't put your finger on it, but you've got a bad feeling about the thing, as if opening and reading the scroll could be somehow dangerous. You know what that means? We save the video game before we do it. This is an old, fading, innocuous-looking parchment scroll bound with a single red ribbon and smelling faintly of mildew. The ribbon is held in place with a plain wax seal. Break the seal, open the scroll, and read it. The scroll contains a few lines of shaky calligraphy and a strange rune. The calligraphy reads, "This may not kill you, but it will slow you down, I am sure. Stop chasing me, you thieving bastards! It's my body. Mine, mine, mine. Now die." What the? The rune suddenly throbs, and the entire scroll begins to dissolve into a stinking black mess. The fluid seeps directly into the flesh of your hands. In seconds, the magical hemotoxin begins to render your blood into black bile. For a moment, you clutch at yourself, howling in agony, and then the pain subsides. You've survived whatever horrible magic was placed upon the scroll. "That's it? It just tried to kill me? Hey, I have a complaint. I read that scroll. It was trapped." Illibrand looks confused. I don't know what to say to you, scarred one. You could start by saying how exactly you came by the thing. As I told you, Scarred One, it was given to me by my mother. A hooded man had given it to her some 50 years past, paying her well, but bidding her to never read it, whatever the circumstances. Ellebrand sighs, looking away for a moment. User of magic she was, powerful in the art, but frightened of this man just the same. She had set his eyes, all she could see of him really, hinted at madness, and that the flesh around them was puckered and grey, like yours. I know nothing more of him. It was probably me, right? But surely, like, he gave me his own description? Oh, wait. I guess it was... Maybe this was one of the Nameless One's incarnations that just was, like, crazy? It didn't understand and was, like, outwardly hostile to his own later incarnations or something? Or maybe he understood something I don't. I don't know. Whatever. Well, that was weird. This massive, ancient-looking structure is somehow less foreboding than the others of its size. Looks like there's an argument happening over here. What the fuck are they doing? Okay. It's some sort of performance art. Whatever. Where did that just say it was? Art store. Oh.
I'm gone.
I don't really have much use for an art right now, I don't think. An animated, bloody iron chain, coiling and uncoiling upon itself. The chain itself seems to bend and weave like the spine of a snake. A small placard reads, "A chitin's animate chain from jangling Heiter." Touch the chain? The chain is slightly warm to the touch, as if it were alive. You notice that various barbs, tiny hooks, needles, and other small sharp bits are welded along the chain's length. Okay. Guess I'm just looking at art or something. Hang on, let's talk to this person. Before you is a well-dressed elderly woman in a gown of peach-colored and golden thread. She stands quietly, her hands folded primly, and nods in your direction. It is then that you notice that she has no pupils. Her eyes are entirely white. Greetings, sir. I am Ivana. Welcome to my Galleria. Feel free to look about, spending as much time here as you like. Should you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. I suppose I had a question. One moment, sir. Your voice. It is heavy with age and wounds. Would you be so kind as to permit me to touch your face? I suppose you can do that if you want. Ivana smiles, gently running her old hands over the skin of your face. She frowns, looking slightly puzzled. So many scars, both old and new. They seem to... She touches the side of your throat, flushes, then pulls away. Pardon me, sir. I was curious to see how far they went. It's fine. And they're everywhere. My whole body is scarred. Ivana nods. I had some questions. Of course, please ask. Can you see, Ivana? I cannot see, but only because I do not wish to. In time, I will allow my vision to return, so that I can re-experience the contents of my Galleria. Galleria. Galleria? Galleria. 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 Galleria? Galleria. That's what I'm going with. Re-experience the contents of my Galleria with the benefit of new fresh eyes. What is this place? Why, it's my Galleria of the Plains. She smiles and gestures around her. These pieces have been brought from far and wide. Some I sell, some I keep. All I display at one time or another. Please enjoy them. And again, should you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. What is of interest here? I am afraid that I do not go far from beyond the Galleria and cannot help you with this matter. You might try and ask someone else. Where can I find work here? She doesn't know. What do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell? She's a night hag, one of the eldest Grey Sisters of the Waste, who came to Sigil many centuries ago to pursue arcane experiments. It was believed that these experiments were against the lady's will, and that Ravel was thus banished from Sigil, imprisoned within one of the lady's mazes on the Ethereal, where her body rests to this very day. Go on. Ravel was said to have been a master of riddles and puzzles, but it was believed that one riddle, one question in particular, was said to have plagued the ancient night hag. What can change the nature of a man? She issued a challenge to any who were interested. She promised to instruct any who came to her in her craft, if they could only answer the question to her satisfaction. If they could not, they considered her to be, they consented to be her next meal. Many died coveting Ravel's teachings, and it is believed that until her final hours in Sigil, Ravel never discovered the answer to her question. Ravel's crime was believed to be some means of trying to shatter the cage, trying to crack open Sigil itself for some unknown reason. Ivana sighs. That is all I know of her. Okay then. I had a question about one of the pieces. Oh, which one? One of the paintings? The Chitin's animate chain. The chain comes from the city of Jangling Hiter? The city of chains that hangs on Minora's third layer of Bartor. The chains there are the finest in the multiverse, but the inhabitants of Jangling Hiter are malicious and cruel, using the chains as living weapons against all that enter their city and violate their laws. Chitins move about the city of chains as spiders upon webs, adorned in chains woven tightly around their bodies. Chitins possess a power known as the Gift of Chains, which allows them to manipulate chains with their minds. It's believed that my Galleria's chain was animated during a battle in which the chitin controlling it was slain with a cursed hammer, its life essence then passing into the chain itself. Oh, okay. And then you put it on display, huh? Alright. This painting shows what looks to be an infinitely long stream of bilious green gas stretching off into darkness. The horizon of a blasted rocky plain can be seen in the lower right-hand corner of the painting. One is given the impression that the head of the green cloud is rearing to strike down upon it. A placard reads, Hazazoth at the consumption of Nagar. Okay. This painting, an abstract work of greens and purples, writhes and ripples as it's watched. Closer examination reveals that the actual painted image is changing, rather than the canvas itself. A placard states, Moments glance from the walls of Mokkama. I don't know. Touch the painting? You place your hand upon the painting. As you had suspected, it is not that the canvas is physically moving, but that the painted image itself is changing. I wonder if there's going to be something relevant in here. I guess I should check all of these. I'm probably not going to ask her about all of them unless something in particular stands out. A painting of tall black cliffs against a blood-red sky. There looks to be figures hiding amongst the crags of the cliffs, but whenever you squint at the painting to try and make them out, the images fade into nothing. A placard reads, Outland Raiders. A massive horn of beaten lead wound with brazen chains. The horn is horribly mangled as if some tremendous force had crushed it. Jagged blades protrude along its length, almost as if it were meant to be used as a club by some gigantic creature, as well as a battle horn. A placard mounted beneath the horn reads, Cleansing Horn of Acheron. Put your head against the wall. Try and blow the horn. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't imagine that'll work. Try as you might, you can get no sound to issue from the massive horn. Your lips come away from the mouthpiece, tasting of blood, smoke, and metal. Gross. What the hell is this thing? Brilliant ruby statuette stands on this pedestal, carved into the image of a winged humanoid. The figure is either demonic or angelic in nature, but it is difficult to tell which because it refracts the light in the Galleria strangely. There is no placard indicating what exactly the statuette is. Okay. That's interesting, maybe one to keep an eye on. The surface of this painting, a wild collage of vivid colors, ripples constantly, as if it were the surface of a pond during a light rain. A placard reads, Wave Motion Study Number 7. Not much of a name. Touch the painting. You place your palm against the canvas. You cannot feel the ripples themselves, though a cool, tingling sensation passes through your hand at first contact. This statue looks like it is about to make some angry proclamation. The sculptor has captured the essence of fury magnificently. The chiseled tension lines around the neck and forehead alone must have taken many long months to get correct. Fine cracks run over the entire statue, and there is a plaque attached to its base. The plaque reads, This statue is believed to be the final fate of the Etherian sorcerer, oh Jesus, for God's sake, Gangroig Hydon. Attacked by a conclave of rival sorcerers at the height of his dream madness, he was imprisoned with a spell that turned his flesh into stone. Gangrohydron is said to have been frozen with a final awful curse still upon his lips, a curse so terrible that it was never meant to be spoken by the lips of a living man. Does this count as art if you just turn someone into a statue? Like, whatever, it's fine. The statue looks like it is about to... Yes, we already read that. Examine the cracks. You carefully examine the cracks that run, like a network of fine black veins, along the statue's surface. At one point, near its inner arm, is a section where an entire splinter of stone looks ready to come off. I don't think I'm gonna fuck around with it. It seems like it'd be kind of stupid. This is a portrait of a grotesque, hook-nosed old crone. The hag's flesh is sickly blue-gray color. Her eyes glow red like the embers of a dying fire. Her chin, long and sharp, juts forward in an extreme underbite. Two yellowed canines protrude upwards from her lower jaw like small tusks. The smile upon her withered purplish lips speaks of a horrible secret. A placard reads, "Grey Hag of Oinos." As you begin to turn away from the painting, something in it draws your attention. A strange, tingling sensation arises in the back of your mind, a memory beginning to surface. Try and recall. You recall standing, confused, in a maze of briars. The hideous crone from the painting is before you, cackling wildly. You grit your teeth in frustration, wondering why she's laughing at you. "My poor, dear, lovely man-thing," she croons. "Why, that was your first wish." She points a single bony, clawed finger at your forehead. Your temples begin to throb painfully, and you can remember nothing more. I didn't wish for immortality and then this happened to me, did I? Because that would just be the fucking dumbest thing ever. This looks to be a subterranean landscape. A massive cavern interior filled the colorful, faintly luminescent, gigantic fungi. A placard reads, "Veil beneath Clangaden." This painting is a dark cityscape, a faraway view of some giant center of civilization being burned to the ground. The streets of the place are empty, however, absent of soldiers, refugees, and even corpses. A placard reads, "The Folly of Udo." Oh, this one looks pretty weird. The hundreds of chips of translucent green gloss which make up this stained glass window don't appear to be held together by anything, but rather remain free-floating and mysteriously suspended within the iron frame's boundaries. The shards ripple and move in slow waves, causing bizarre patterns to fluctuate across the window's surface as various portions of it reflect the Galleria's light in different directions. A small placard beside the window reads, "Arcadian stained glass window." Touch the glass. You reach out to touch the undulating glass shards, but find you cannot do so. Your hand stops just short of the surface of the glass. I'm not gonna punch it. This painting shows an enormous granite keep, a hideous thing, long and low, covered in leering gargoyles, suspended in what looks to be the night sky. A cloud of crimson and violet vapor whirls in the background. Right along the right side of the painting, a placard reads simply, "The Library." This painting depicts a shore scene, and a wide reddish-orange sun setting behind a peninsula or large jetty. The scene, though unoriginal, is breathtaking. The play of the fading daylight across the water is captured perfectly, but staring at the painted sun for any length of time makes your eyes ache. A placard reads, "Surface of Thalassia." Touch it. Oddly enough, there is nothing unusual about the surface of the painting. A set of 4 paintings which portray an empty beach in the dead of night. The air around the painting smells faintly of brine, and the painted sea seems to ebb and flow across the darkened shore. A placard reads, "Karasuthran Shoreline." Sniff at the painting? The surface of the painting smells strongly of sea air. Touch it. You place your hand on the painting, not knowing quite what to expect, but it is merely the texture of painted canvas that you feel beneath your fingertips. Several shards of black crystal, or ice, swirl within the freezing wind that this ornate pedestal gives forth. Each shard looks razor-sharp. Touching or grabbing one could be perilous. A placard on the pedestal reads, "Dark Birds of Acanthus." Probably best not to just grab random shit like that. I had some questions. Do you have questions regarding one of the pieces? Yes, I do. About the ruby statuette. That piece was found in a cathedral in the fertile fields of Elysium on the first layer, Amoria the Untroubled, where it bordered the river Oceanus. The name of the piece is not known, but the skill and craftsmanship are believed to be one of the most striking examples of gem crafting in the plains. The mere way in which the piece captures, distills, and enhances the light through its facets is part of its breathtaking wonder. It seems to bring to light the possible ideological connection between even the most evil and the purest beings in the multiverse. Fascinating. I'm not really sure how you drew that conclusion, but okay. One of the paintings. Grey Hag of Oinos. That is said to be a portrait of Ravel Puzzlewell, very likely the most evil hag ever to have terrorized the Grey Waste and beyond. Oh, okay. I already asked her what she knew about her, so... wasn't much else to get there. Okay, well, whatever. That was still kind of worth it. Okay, calling it. Episode over. Most of it was spent in this friggin' art gallery. Or just randomly pestering various citizens. Oh, Clarksport, huh? Oh, man. Oh, I feel like I'm not even halfway done with all the stuff in here. I probably have to go back to Vrishka's shop at some point, but I really want to put that off as long as possible because, oh man. Ugh. Okay. We'll get through this game. We're gonna do it. I'll do it. I swear I'll make it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I'll see you next time.